Hi, and welcome to Shane's DIY. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to expand my surveillance camera system at my house. When I bought this house, one of the first upgrades I wanted to do that I never had in my old house was cameras all around the house. Like, I've got one right by the front door, I've got one right in this corner, I've got one right there. Got them all the way around the house. I love it. I mean, it's awesome. I've got them piped in, and I'll show you some screenshots. I've got them piped into my PC at my desk. When I'm working, I can see what's going on if I get a delivery. Nice to be able to see what's going on around the property. And then obviously if something happens, you can always go back and look at the footage. And my existing cameras are hardwired in, and they were a significant amount of work. So I've got one here just directly above my front door that I can see, anybody delivery walks up, and that's the one I got a motion sensor on. People walk up to the door, it automatically takes some snapshots, sends me an email. These cameras are hardwired in, so you've got to run a wire up through your attic. These cameras on this angle right there, I had to drill, get a super long drill bit, drill at an angle upwards up into the attic and hit it just right, so I got into the the crown of the rafters and then up into the attic space to where I could grab that wire. Over here in another corner that covers this section of my driveway, and I got one over here that covers the driveway area. I've got one in the garage, around the back side of the house, even all around the house. But on the north side of the house here, I do have a little bit of a dead zone. The attic space on this end of the house, it's extremely difficult to access from inside the attic to come over here. And then same thing with the back corner. I've got 2 extra cameras that were part of this network, but it was so difficult to get up into the attic, and I think I'd have to cut a hole in the ceiling in one of the bedrooms to run the wire across. I just never got around to doing that. That brings me to the sponsor of this video. Dzees Camera has a completely wireless solution. They reached out and they wanted to send me one of their cameras. If you want something super simple to install, completely wireless, even the power, you don't even have to power the thing. Has a little bit of a limitation on, these cameras I have here will record continuously, so if something happens, I can always go back and review the footage, pay the penalty of having a significant installation for that. So they reached out, they've got a wireless solution. Definitely was interested to try that to see if I could find a cool way to cover this end of the house. So I got a couple ideas. I first was thinking about putting it over here, one end of the house, maybe that end of the house, because I could actually, the model that they sent me is a PTZ one where I can pan and tilt, rotate it in any direction. So I may end up putting it right here, because it'll be a lot closer to motion and things like that. But the first place I'm going to try this camera is going to stretch its limits a little bit to see how far the motion sensor will work. It's a passive infrared motion sensor. The one I've got is solar powered, so you can keep it charged as long as there's sun, which today we don't have any sun, but I'm in Phoenix area, so we get plenty of sun, so it will definitely keep itself charged. But without that, they claim it'll go to up to 3 to 6 months, depending on how active the area is with the motion, because basically every time it sees motion is when it's going to record an event. Or you can pull it up and view it live, but it doesn't record continuously if you're not online with it. So my idea, rather than putting it on the house, over here I've got an abandoned power pole. Now, I'm not certain if they'll be okay with me using that, but looks like an old pole that was cut off. There's nothing attached to it. So I'm actually going to climb up over the ladder. I'm going to attach this camera. What I'm hoping is that at this range, this is kind of the view it's going to give me of my house. I'll be able to see my whole front driveway, and I'm hoping that the motion sensor will be sensitive enough to pick up if there's traffic going through the driveway here. When we get a delivery, Amazon or something, the trucks, come through the driveway, of course. I'm hoping that the motion sensor will pick that up. Hoping it'll pick that up. There is a light on it that also turns on when it detects motion. I don't know how far that light will light, but this is a fair distance over here, so I don't know how well that's going to work. But we're going to check it. I have done some tests on my Wi-Fi. I do have, in that corner of the house, I have a Wi-Fi extender, part of my Starlink, if you've seen any of those videos. But I came out here with my cell phone with a scanner, and I did have Wi-Fi signal. So this camera uses Wi-Fi to connect to your network. Hopefully, with it mounted on that pole out there, I'll have enough Wi-Fi and motion sensor range to be effective. If it doesn't, then we'll just move it over here and we'll put it on the corner of the house. Let's take a look and see what we get in the box here. This is the model D3K from Dzees. Now, it didn't come with the memory card. I went ahead and bought the Manual says that 128 gigabyte is the biggest one you can do, so I went ahead and got this Gigastone. I've used this brand before, and it's a pretty nice one. You probably don't need anything that significant, and certainly not that big. I think this is going to record a lot of data. What I wanted the memory card for is so everything would record locally on the camera. It does have cloud storage that you can take advantage of. If you don't have a paid account, you can, I think it stores up for 3 days. If you have a paid account, it'll record it longer than that, or retain it on the cloud server. But with the memory card inserted into it, even if you lose Wi-Fi or anything, it will record events onto its local memory card. So let's take a look. Get a manual. I have read through this manual. It's actually pretty good. Walks you through getting the app, and it is on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store, which is nice. So you don't have to go to a random third-party website and get the app where it's questionable. Set up for that. Setting up the Wi-Fi. One question that I have now, it does not work with 5G Wi-Fi networks. You got to use your 2.4 gig, which is actually better because it does have better range. You can get further out with the 2.4 gig. My question, if you've seen some of my other videos, the once in a while devices I've tried to put on, like my garage door openers, wouldn't talk to my Starlink Wi-Fi, so that could be an issue. If this one has a similar limitation where it doesn't play well with the Starlink router, hopefully there won't be any problem with that. Now, I do have the solar panel. This says solar panel if ordered, but I do have that. But without the solar panel, you would have to pull this camera down periodically and recharge it. You can see the battery status on the app, so you can tell if it gets low. Recommended distance between camera and motion objects is within 8 meters, so 25 feet. So that might be a problem for me to detect cars driving in out of my driveway. It says 25 feet. You get some patterns, so you know where to drill holes if you need to drill holes. First thing on the top here is the solar panel. Pretty small. You can see as big as my hand. It's interesting texture to it. Well, time will tell if the solar panel and the camera itself, it's outdoor rated obviously, but I am in the Phoenix area, so it is going to get exposed to some pretty harsh environments in the summertime. Here's that silicone plug that it comes with that goes into the back of the camera to keep moisture out. Once you plug it into the camera, when you slide this over it, that does seal pretty well around there, so I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about moisture getting in there. So that's pretty nice. It's very soft, flexible silicone sealer. I'm not sure how long that cord is, but looks to be plenty long enough for what I'll be using it for. That is the mount for the solar panel. Pop that off. You slide that through there, and it's got little teeth so it grabs and hold it in place so wind and stuff doesn't mess it up. Tighten that back up, and then let's let you put it in virtually any orientation. That gets mounted to the back of your panel, and then you can position that in whatever orientation you need to get sufficient sunlight for your area. Got some anchors for various applications. You can of course go straight into the screw. If I'll put it in that pull up there, I'll just be screwing straight into it, but if you're going to put it on some drywall or stucco, like I'll have it on the outside of my house if I end up moving it there, these kind of anchors will work good for that. Some more anchors for the actual camera if you need them. USB-C to standard USB charging cord. That's if you just need to charge it. Now you won't want to charge it up in the house or on your bench before you put it out. You don't want to rely on the solar panel to charge it up from a low state of charge, so get it charged up fully, and then I think the solar panel should be able to keep it topped off. So there's our charging cable, extra hardware for the camera. I think that goes down through the top of the camera into that. We'll look at that in a minute. And now we get into the actual camera. Feels very solid, very stout. Doesn't feel flimsy initially. Feels very solid. It's obviously plastic, but it's heavy. It's got some mass to it. Let's see if there's anything else down here. Oh, I got one pin. We'll look at the manual and see what that is. That might just be to hit the reset button on here, because there is a little hole. You can use a paper clip or something. Yeah, I can feel a button in there. So yeah, that must be to reset the oh, I just turned it on when I did that. Now it's all looking around. That's pretty cool. It's like a little R2-D2 thing looking around. I think it's trying to connect to an app or something. See if I can turn it off. Hold the button down. Yeah, I just turned it off. You can mount this in either orientation. If you mounted it upside down, which wouldn't really be ideal, you know, if it was outdoors, because water could get in here, but certainly could, just if you had it indoors. But on the bottom here is the power button, slot for the memory card, and the reset button. You can see that in there. A very nice silicone cover, again, to keep it weather resistant. When that's plugged in there, it's really secure and tight. Mounting looks like a 1/4-20 mounting, or like a typical tripod type mounting thread. You got your two Wi-Fi antennas. A little display here has got some lights to light up the area if you have it you know, in a position where the lights will work. I don't know if I'll use that where I've got it on that pole. If I move it towards the house, it'll certainly be beneficial because I can pick up somebody walking around the house. Now right on the back side here, there's another silicone cover. That's where the solar panel will plug in. If you're not using the solar panel, of course, that just keeps it sealed up when you're not using it. So far, it looks very nice. Smart battery camera, model D3K, input 5 volts, 1.5 amps, it says. PB for 5200 milliamp hours, what it's claiming the battery is inside of there. Guess I'll start by getting the memory card inserted. Now, I don't know, this needs to be formatted FAT32, I believe. I don't know the default formatting on here. I'm going to just go ahead and insert it, see if it recognizes it, if there's any issue with that, or it'll probably format itself within the app. I'm guessing you can format the card. The little pins on the memory card go towards the back side. There's the camera on the front, so the little pins go towards the back side. And then you just, like most of it, does have the, it's not just a press in, it's got the little spring-loaded clip, so that's nice, that holds it in, retains it. To get it back out, you just push, it clicks back out. So that's nice, it's got the more high-quality memory card retainer. Alright, so first let's get the app. We'll try the QR code, see if that takes us to the App Store or to a website. Now it does show a link to the browser website, but I think it's going to link us back to the Play Store. I'll overlay this on the screen. So yeah, it did take us to the Google Play Store, so that's nice. We'll just click Install. Now you could navigate straight to this from the Google Play Store or your iPhone store. I'm sure it's on there too. I don't have an iPhone. Alright, the app's installed. Now you do need to make a user account for that. Let's go ahead and open up the app. You agree to the user agreement, read through that if you like. Okay. Now it does walk you through a little tutorial and give you some information on that. And then when you're ready, you get started. Now we need to sign up for a new account, so I'm going to go through that real quick. Okay, now that we've created our registration account, now we want to add a new device. Let's see, add a camera. Let's just go ahead and hit add new device. Turn on the device. Long press the power button. The blue light came on.
Please use the app to format your SD card first.
Okay, it says I'm checking off that I heard the sound. Let's go next. Allow it to use the device's location. Allow. Okay, so it found a D3K. It's got a serial number, Wi-Fi. We'll click on that device. Now this is where we want to see. Now don't use the 5G because that will not work. We'll just use my standard space internet. Okay, when prompted, connect to the Wi-Fi network. Connect to device. The Dzees home will use a temporary Wi-Fi network to connect to the device. Okay, got it. So it's created its own hotspot temporarily, or its own Wi-Fi hotspot for us to do the initial setup. We'll hit connect.
Connection succeeded.
Oh, it says we're connected. I think I'm going to go ahead and peel off all the... Okay, set a name. So I'm just going to call this the D3K. Okay. Please place the device where you need to install it. Check signal strength. Okay, so I've already gone out there, but right now we'll not worry about that. Next step. How do you plan to use your device? Plug in solar panel. So select the type. I'm going to use solar panel, so click that. Enable auto on after charging. When running out of battery, the device will automatically turn on after charging to save your effort. You can turn this feature off now or anytime from the power settings page. So auto on after charging, I'm going to go ahead and use that. Choose a location.
Please use the app to format your SD card first.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Settle down. It's just walking you through some tips. Okay. So it's going to offer me to get the 1 month plus plan for free.
Please use the app to format your SD card first.
Relax. All right. So you obviously can't have that membership indefinitely, where you get a lot of extra features with your system. At this time, I'm not going to do that, but you can do that. So right now, you can select no thanks, and it'll just do the local storage. That's a 30-day cloud storage. So when you have events right now, it's going to only last for a couple of days. I think 3 days. If you don't have that plan, then that's all you get. If you pay for the plan, it'll record your events for up to 30 days. So I'm going to hit no thanks at this time. And it's going to give you, it's going to tell you the different options you get with the paid plan. So as you can see, there's a lot of extra cool things you can get if you get the pay plan. That's entirely up to you. I encourage you to check it out if that works for you. For now, I'm not going to do those things. I'm going to continue with the free plan here. Oh yeah, motion detected. So it already picked up motion on there. So let's do some setup stuff. We need to format that SD card. So let's go through and do that. Let me see if I can find out where to do it. It's a little gear there, or a nut. SD card management. It says wrong
Please
format.
use the app to format your SD card first.
Okay, all data on the SD card will be deleted. Are you sure you want to format it? So yeah, so you can do it right from the app. So that's nice, and it does tell me it's the wrong format. I don't know what format it came with by default, but this will reformat it for us. All right, so now it's recognized it. It's showing that we have 116 gigs free. Let's back up. So here you can go through, and there's tons of different settings: notification settings, motion detection, alarm, video. Let's go to video settings. We can flip over the rotation. So rotate image. So I can click that now. See, now I've flipped over the camera, so now I can see it. Recording resolution SD. So I'd rather have the high def. Going to be the 2K. So a whole lot of things in here you're going to want to go through and learn about. So let's pull up the camera. I'm going to move it around a little bit. So you got a little joystick here, kind of, or a D-pad, I guess you'd call it, and then you can just tap that and move it around. Now, one feature I thought that was pretty cool, because I've got a couple other motion cameras that aren't this nice, but they also aren't completely wireless. They do record continuous footage, but they have to be powered up all the time. But they're pan and tilt, and if I want to look at something else, you got to pan and back and forth. This one actually has preset position memory. So like if I want to record that position, I can click new position, give it a name, just call it, I don't know, front, confirm, and then so now if I have it look at something else, and then I can save that position. Side, confirm, turn off. Now I've got multiple positions in there. I can just hit position, and I can just quickly hit that, go right back to the position that I wanted. That's a really cool feature. Audible alarm, let's play with that. If you activate the alarm features, the camera will emit alerts and sound. I don't know how loud this is going to be, but let's... I don't know how to turn it off. Oh, there it goes. Let's go back to the home. If you click on that envelope, it'll show you any events that are going on. So it's all these movements that is recorded are showing up on this. And that's on the cloud. I can also look at the SD card. Format is incorrect. Please format it. I might need to reboot it. I already formatted it, but okay. Well, we could probably play with this app all day, but let's go get it installed where we want to put it. Get this solar panel mounted. Now what I would do is, if you're going to mount this, say on a panel like this, facing up towards the sun, put the little wire on the lower side of it, so water coming off the top, it would drip off of that. It wouldn't go into that hole. I don't know what's in there, but I'm guessing you wouldn't want water in that, so make sure that's facing down. And of course the camera will mount on here. This will mount on the side of the house, or the pole in our case. And then this little knurled nut will go through the top and thread into the top of the camera. So very simple installation. Right now I'm getting the camera topped off. We'll get that charged up. As soon as it is, we'll go put it on the pole. Alright, I got the full screen going. And that picture is nice. So I can see my neighbors. Yeah, look at that picture, that's nice. Now if you can see that on the, let me zoom in a little bit more, you can see it moving around. That's cool. There I am. Hello. I had talked to my neighbor to get permission since this pole is on his property, and told him we could perhaps see his gate. We might have to trim that tree a little bit, but the camera speed's pretty good. As I move around, it's pretty real time. So let me put the other camera on me as I move my hand, so we'll watch the screenshot. So alright, so I'll put my hand up, boom, you can see how long it takes for it to respond. It's pretty quick. So I thought you could tap on the screen and zoom in. Well, there you go, you double tap and it'll zoom in. So from this full screen mode, I wonder if I can go to the, oh here we go. So I can go to position if I tap the little hamburger menu, go to position, then I can look directly at the gate. But let's get the solar panel put up there, and we'll just give it some runtime. Talked to my neighbor about putting it up here, and then told him we were gonna, I'd share the camera with him, so now he'll be able to grab it and you know, check out his driveway. And if we trim that tree, then he'll be able to see the gate, which would probably be nice, and you can see if packages got dropped off or something. All right, let's get the solar panel put up. All right, let me take you up on the pole and show you what I got here. I might clean this up. I don't know. I really wish it was a darker color, like a brown or a black. So I might try to paint it or something. We'll see how it works. If it's not working, that motion sensor doesn't work out here, then I may move it anyway. But let's take a look at it, and I'll show you what I got so far up here. All right, so this old pole, and I'm guessing that's why they retired this pole, because it's just an abandoned power pole. They got chopped off up there, but it's quite deteriorated, so there's a lot of splintering wood, but it held all right. So I got 4 screws into the camera. I just kind of tucked the wire. You got the silicone insulator in there, or sealer, and then I just kind of tucked the wire into one of these cracks that was in the thing to run it up, and then I got the wire tied under that. Not very pretty, but I'm not really sure what to do with it. I was going to hang it over the back of this, but then I realized when we rotate the camera around to his gate, if I got the spool of wire hanging here, it's going to block the camera. So anyway, I just got it right here now. I got this little, the wire pass-through is down, so if water gets on the top of this, it'll just run down. Also, you want to make sure that the wire comes down from the connector. So like if I had this going up, any water that got into this wire, it would follow it down and go right into that hole. So by having this little drip leg here, any water that gets on that, rather than going into that connector hole, is just going to drip down off of here. So anyway, that's what I got. There's your solar panel. We'll log in with the app, and I'm just going to see if it shows charging or anything. It's already at 100% charge, so it may not show anything. But all right, so let's look at the there. 99%, and you can see a little lightning bolt on the battery indicator that tells us it's charging, so that's kind of cool. At the top here where it says D3K smart camera, it says 99% with a little lightning bolt. That tells me it's charging, so I think that's a good sign. We'll keep an eye on the voltage over the next few days. I'll try to log into it as often as I can to get the live feed, to use up the battery as much as I can, just to see if the solar panel will pick up the slack and charge it back up. I don't think I'm going to have a lot of luck with the motion. Well, that one picked me up, it looks like. Let's see what that one looks like. So that one did pick me up, standing down below it. Oh, maybe it will work. I've got it on the high setting, so we'll see. But, oh, now the SD card's picking up. I can click on that, hit confirm. Now it'll show me everything that's on the SD card, which should be everything. All right, neighbor had me, neighbor let me go over there and trim those branches out of the way. So now I have got a screen capture here. Now you can see his gate much better. So when I share the camera with him, you can check and see if he's got packages, anything like that. Much better. Well, installation's done. Super simple. If I didn't have to trim that tree, that would have been a lot easier. That was the most work of of anything. All right, so far the only things that I would change, or I guess you could consider them slight issues. I don't think the motion sensor is going to have enough range to work effectively in this location. I'm gonna go grab a tape measure and I'll just step it off here to see what kind of distance I have to the driveway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 paces, about 12 yards, so 12 meters. And it says it'll only go about 8 meters, so yeah, it's just not, doesn't have the range to pick it up. Now my other cameras have motion, but they're based on the camera movement, you know, something in the screen, but since the battery powered ones don't record continuously, you can't really use that, so you've got to rely on the passive infrared sensor. So unfortunately the motion sensor is not going to work. So we'll see how it works out there. All I can really do is pull it up and look at it if I want to, or perhaps my neighbor, check his gate, you know, or his driveway. But we're not going to catch activities, you know, unless I know something's going on based on my other cameras. I could then pull it up and see what's happening. So that's a thing. But so the motion sensor, that's one issue where I've got it mounted. That would work great if you had it on the side of your house. Other issue with where I've put it, not an issue with the product, but where I've put it. There was a black option. I didn't really think about it when we were selecting the unit I would test, but the black one would have been better up there. It'd be a little more camouflage. I really don't think it would be a big deal if I taped off some of that and just painted it brown or black or whatever. I could probably color it. I don't know how long it would hold up, but if I prep it right, I think that'll be all right. So where I've got it, if I want to be a little more covert, certainly a different color would be much better. That one stands out pretty obvious. Wi-Fi so far seems to have good range. When I first put it up here, it was struggling a little bit. But I have a feeling that may have been related to when I set it up, it was connected to the main router, not the mesh node. So it may have needed to switch over to the mesh node, and it took it a second to do that. But so far, last few times I've checked it, except for that first time, it's connected right up. So no trouble there. And, you know, just compared to my other cameras, I guess my last issue would be I'd prefer to have one that would record continuously. Other than that, it's very feature-packed. The picture quality is fantastic. I'm interested. We'll see how it looks tonight, and I'll pull up some shots in the dark. I got a feeling that the light is not going to be bright enough to do much on the ground here, but I'm curious. Come walk by it at night and see if the lights turn on or anything, or I can turn the light on and see how that works. But this one's available on Amazon. They have their own website as well. I'll show you a couple of options. A few different cameras available. This is the one I picked that seemed to be the best for my application. I definitely wanted the solar panel. You can see there it's quite high in the air, and I didn't want to have to go up there every few months and recharge it. Well, I've had it now for a couple of days. I'm going to wrap this up. This video is getting longer than I anticipated, but wanted to make sure I covered it thoroughly in the installation and you know, in my application for it. The motion sensor actually has been picking it up through the driveway here. A couple of deliveries and my wife driving home. The motion sensor did pick it up when she drove in, so that was unexpected. I showed a couple of screenshots of the night vision. I'm blown away by the night vision. You could even see the blue sky at almost midnight. When I turned on the spotlight, it switched to day vision, and it made the sky look blue. I was blown away by that. When the spotlight is off and you're just using the actual night vision, infrared, and I could see all the way the entire house was lit up. Now, the moon was a little bright that night, but sun was down, and it's purely mostly on the night vision. Now, I do have my other cameras at the house, which have infrared light that kind of lights some things up, and then I have one little porch light. But it was awesome. I really, you know, like I've said before, other than the limitations that I've created with the way I've mounted it up on that pole, that's which wasn't really designed for that. The thing's working fantastic. Check the links below. I've got an Amazon link in the description if you're interested in it. Like I said, they did send me this camera free of charge. They didn't tell me what to say. They have not approved of this video beforehand. They wanted an honest review, and they wanted my opinion on it, so I've given it. I really can't knock it for anything. So far, so good. I may do a follow-up on this once it's had a chance to sit out in the weather and get kind of beat down from our hot Arizona sun and the weather. But thanks for watching, and again, check the links in the description if you're looking for this product, and take care. And Merry Christmas. It's the day after Christmas. Take care.